blockchain technology is a far superior technology to the existing technology that we utilize. So is that likely to change the world? I believe so. We're just in the next phase. Now we've got bloody Trump meme coins. What does a Trump meme coin do?
Right. Oh,
pro-crypto legislation in many countries. A lot of pro-crypto legislation introduced recently in many countries and states in the US. Italian banks are buying too. There's a number of articles there from Cointelegraph and Reuters. They are doing it all at once, and that is what is interesting. I don't know why, but wanted to pick your brain and hear your thoughts. Is it coordinated? That's from VN.
I think you need to. You need to look at a technology and then other components of it. What I mean by that is, let's go back to the dot-com era. Okay, so dot-coms was internet. Okay, it was this idea that this technology, the internet, was going to change the world. Was that correct? Here we are. We're on freaking Zoom. We're doing video calls. We run entire businesses on the internet. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case in 1990. Okay. So did it change the world? Absolutely. Now, there were a whole lot of companies that were involved in that whole dot-com era, pets.com, all sorts of garbage. Okay. Did they survive? No. Were they nonsense? Yes. Were they the equivalent of a tulip bubble? Yes. So you had the componentry, you had the underlying technology of the internet that was revolutionary and was going to change the world. And then you had a whole lot of noise and players within it. I think blockchain is the same thing. Blockchain technology is a far superior technology to the existing technology that we utilize for communications, for storage of data, for transfer of assets across a platform. So, comparative to transactions, which we currently are using the Western-based financial infrastructure, New York intermediary banks, the SWIFT system, etc., etc. That is an archaic infrastructure, and blockchain it's not 10 times better, it's 1,000 times better. Okay. So is that likely to change the world? I believe so. Now, on the back of all of this, we've had all manner of nonsense. Remember monkey JPEGs?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just in the next phase. Now we've got bloody Trump meme coins. What does a Trump meme coin do? Absolutely nothing is the answer, okay? And yet it hit $30 billion market cap. Is that a bubble? Yeah, it's nuts. It's completely bananas. Now, I could speak to the ethics of Trump coming into an administration and issuing a knowing Ponzi scheme, and I would say that's insane. But that is also in part what we're talking about with respect to the at the end of empires. You get social destruction. You get this kind of craziness. I know people want Trump to be the best thing since sliced bread, but any president who comes out and knowingly raises for his family, who owned 80% of the thing, $24 billion on the back of something that's absolutely worthless, I would say should be questionable at best. And then now we've got a Melania coin. I mean, this is nuts. But so
I can't believe we're even having this conversation.
But you have to disconnect that noise from the fact that blockchain is a technology that is extraordinarily useful, extraordinarily valuable, and I think is changing the world. So
Chris, the other thing, and this is a lesson you taught me ages ago, is that this technology is important, but the bubble is important too, because without the bubble, you don't have the investment going into the technology, right? And so it's only after all the bubbles, all this shit that we're seeing now, all of it going away and the profitable or useful technology staying, that wouldn't have been able to be built without this crazy amount of investment capital going in. So in a way, bubbles like that are...
It's necessary. It's necessary. So just on that point, I think it was a conversation you and I had probably, gosh, I don't know, 100 years ago now.
Stripe, I think. Skype, I think.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
So with the internet, what was required also for the internet was subsea cables. And guess what financed subsea cables? Massive boom in .com stuff. Those were never profitable. Okay, but what happened was the cost to lay them was so extraordinary, but you had the bubble that people were like, this guy's the limit. Of course I'll throw money in that. So they got built. Then the debt holders got wiped out, and then the cost of that laying of those cables basically got reduced down by like 90%. The owners who then took over had now a profitable business model, right? It's a bit like somebody building you got a fancy, I don't know, let's say a Lamborghini, but you don't have $500,000 for a Lamborghini. You've only got 50 grand. But the Lamborghini buyer goes and spends all the money and he builds this beautiful Lamborghini, goes bankrupt, and he sells it, and you can pick it up for 50 grand. Now it's just a 50 grand car, but it's the same car. It still goes fast and it does everything else, and it's cool. So in these bubbles we have technology that gets built that wouldn't otherwise get built, it gets written down, and it gets utilized by the people who pick up the pieces and who can build on an infrastructure that's very valuable that wouldn't necessarily have been built if it wasn't for the crazy, stupid Trump meme coins and all this other garbage. Now, I'm not smart enough to figure out how the building of a meme coin has any particular value, but possibly it does in infrastructure. Again, I'm not a tech guy. I'm sure there's plenty on the call and others who know more about it, but these cycles of history will repeat.
Yes.